She had finished writing, of which she wrote the whole numbers in 10 lines. Miss Kuti, being an experienced teacher, told Ayo, "I am sure you have not written well. Calm down and write it properly." I did not want to beat anybody today, being the first day in the school. Ayo boldly said she has finished writing, despite the piloting of Miss Kuti. When Miss Kuti checked her book, she disappointedly told Ayo to start all over. Ayo wrote about 20 lines again, and she said she was done. Miss Kuti repeatedly said, "This girl, you are not patient in your writing. I'm sure you didn't get it correctly this second time." Truthfully, Ayo didn't get it as guessed by Miss Kuti. The school Ayo was attending was a Christian school. Thus, Bible religious study was one of the subjects offered in the school. The first topic treated was the story of Joseph, and this story changed everything about Ayo's life. Moreover, there is a popular saying that the good and the bad work together in life. Ayo never forget the topic. Joseph was sold into slavery and later became the governor of the land. Miss Kuti narrated how Joseph's brother hated him and sold him into slavery because of his dreams. For he had dreamed that he and his brother were gathering hay in the farm, and suddenly his hair rose up, and the hair of his elder brother bowed down for him. And he told it to his brother. Shortly after that dream, he had another dream in which 11 stars, the moon, and the sun bowed for him. His brother hated him for his dream and sold him into slavery so that his dream will not be fulfilled. But he was favored by God and was promoted to the position of the prime minister in a strange land. Somehow, this teaching clicked to Ayo like a message from God to her. This also made Ayo to believe that situation will change to her favor in life, as it was for Joseph, because as a young girl, she always had a feeling that she was not emotionally stable. So this message prepared Ayo for what was ahead of her in that class and for the rest of her life. It was so impressed on Ayo that she believed it so strongly right from that very day that she will be great in life no matter the hatred that she was experiencing. In life, Ayo realized the meaning of the whole story of Joseph, which was a replica of her story. Ayo never enjoyed a bit or a single dime of favor, love, and affection dreamt and expected from her relationship with her teacher in Oxford. Rather, it was an opposite. Within the shortest period of time, Miss Kuti hates Ayo with passion. This was because her mom did not love her at all, and she displayed it both at home and in the school. Her mom often punished her for any slightest provocation. Since Miss Kuti noticed this attitude in her mom, she oppressed her more than other pupils in the class. One fateful afternoon, Ayo experienced a dose of hatred like never before. It was after a long break that day. Miss Kuti gave the pupil classwork and left the class. Everyone was busy with their classwork. All of a sudden, the two pupils sitting behind Ayo started fighting over a pen. Ayo got up from her desk, turned back, and supported one of the pupils against the other without having the details of what was going on. As the three of them were arguing, someone shouted from the class, "Our teacher is coming." Ayo ran to her seat and said, "She is coming," aloud, to the hearing of all the pupils in the class, and everyone in the class was quiet before she entered. She said she heard Ayo saying, "Our teacher is coming," and asked for the details of what was going on from the class, fearing the action she might took against any name that was mentioned. Everyone in the class was quiet, and she said since it was Ayo's voice she heard last from the class, she will be the sacrificial lamb for the punishment of the whole class for making noise in her absence. One would think she will give Ayo a few strokes of cane and let it be, but it was like she see an opportunity to take vengeance on her. That was how she started beating Ayo. This beating continued for more than an hour, and Ayo cried till she lost her voice. Everyone in the class pitied her, but Miss Kuti never stopped until the closing bell was rang. She couldn't mark the class work she gave the pupil that afternoon. She said it must be submitted the following day. When the closing bell rang, Miss Kuti left the class to say the closing prayer in the assembly, then to the headmaster office to sign out. It was after she left the class that one of the girls in Ayo's class called Morade interrogated her to know the details of what transpired at home between Ayo or her mom and Miss Kuti that made her beat Ayo mercilessly that day. Though she was in the class that afternoon, she knew the beating was more than the offense, and since they were living in the same house, she felt Miss Kuti ought to overlook the offense, and she asked Ayo, "Ayo, what was your offense that made Miss Kuti beat you like this?" Ayo replied, "Nothing." Then she asked further, "Did she send you an error at home and you refused?" Ayo answered, "No. I do run errand for her when she sent me." Then she continued, "Will your mom not fight her for beating you like this?" Ayo replied, "I don't know." Morade sympathized with her and shook her head, carried her school bag, and left for her house. Ayo couldn't go for the afternoon assembly. She sat down in the class crying. A group of boys in Ayo's class and few from other classes who heard about the way she was beaten were waiting for her outside to watch her leaving the class, where she sat down crying. As she stepped out of the class, they shouted, "Ayo was unjustly punished. No one dare beat us like that. Our mom will definitely fight back. Sorry for you, Ayo." On the way home, Ayo continued crying, following her mom back home. But her mom acted as if she didn't notice her tears. Ayo was surprised about her mom's behavior that day. Why she never asked what went wrong that would have made Miss Kuti beat her to such extent. Neither did she look as if she see her sad countenance. The following morning, Ayo lost her voice. Miss Kuti gave her money for throat lozenges. This he did until Ayo regained her voice. Aside this, Ayo felt Miss Kuti had a guilty conscience for unjustly beating her, because for weeks she couldn't beat her for any offenses committed in the class, even when she was beating the other pupil in the class. With all this beating and verbal abuse, Ayo feared Miss Kuti as death. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. This kind gesture of Miss Kuti stunned Ayo, and she appreciates her for the first time. At home in the evening, while Ayo was still lying down on the sitting room sofa, she heard how Miss Kuti was narrating the whole incident with pity to her mom on how she vomited in the class from her sleep and became very weak and frail. And her mom replied sarcastically, "I can't pack vomit. If I was around, she would have packed it by herself. Miss Kuti kept quiet and let go by entering her room, but Ayo kept this in her memory.